Okay, so hello everyone to all those present here. It's really, really nice to have you in this session. As you all know, this is something that I've been doing every year, almost every year except for last 2 years, where we sort of come together for a good amount of time, given the 21 days, right? Art, we learn new techniques and different styles from different people. We always learn something new every day. And I think this set of sessions is really amazing that way that we get to learn from different people, and also we get to meet different artists as well, which is really nice to sort of be in the community and just to get to know each other. So really excited to be doing this. And today as we all know, we're starting off with Chetna. And we have been recently doing our art sessions together, and I think it just felt so right that everything aligned that we are starting the session with Chetna. So I think I'll hand it over to her. So yes, on the final note, very happy to have you all in this 21 days meditative art ritual. And let's have fun.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. And I'm very honored and very grateful that we're starting with this. And I can already see a few familiar faces here. And I would like to say hi to Bhavika. And I think Raj Lakshmi has also attended some of my sessions. Please, everyone, mute yourself. That would be great. Thank you so much. Okay, so we will get started with art journaling. So, art journaling is a creative way of.
I think we'll need to ask everyone to pin your screen.
Yeah, just pin this one. Tap on the three dots, and you'll see the option to pin the video so you can see this better. And please mute yourself so that we can do this perfectly. You can unmute and ask your doubts wherever you feel like, but other than that, keep yourselves muted. Okay, I think I can start now. So, art journaling is a creative way of expressing yourself. Journaling, you must have heard about. It's such a trendy topic as well, and it's also such an amazing practice that you sit down and
This
sit
call
down.
is now being recorded. This call is now taking notes.
Okay, Veena has started recording. Okay, is the setup all done now? Veena, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm just trying to maximize your screen. I can only pin your screen, but I'm not able to maximize. I'm just trying to do that so that yours is like a bigger screen.
Give me a thumbs up when you are done, and then I'll start speaking.
Yeah, go ahead because
Okay.
it's fine.
Even I'm recording, so don't worry about it. Okay. So, art journaling is a practice that you can include in your daily life where you express your thoughts in a creative way using art techniques, any kind of art, be it doodling, be it calligraphy, be it collage work, scrapbooking, anything that you find interesting, anything that you resonate with can be used in your art journaling practice. So, journaling, you must have heard of, is writing down your thoughts, your emotions, creating your to-do lists so that your mind is clear and you're free of the all the loops that are continuously going on in your head. Art journaling is just a creative way of doing it. Sometimes we don't know what to write, but we can express ourselves through colors, through textures, patterns, collage work. That's what I personally do. That's why I'm giving you all of those examples. So it's just a creative way of getting your mind more focused, more aligned, and more free of all the noise that keeps going on sometimes. So, we will start with some collage work today, and then we'll add colors, quotes, elements, and texture to the artwork. Okay, the material that we need, let's go through the list quickly. We'll need an A4 size paper. The size of the paper doesn't matter. You can, if you're doing this regularly on a daily basis or on like a weekly basis, you can keep a small notebook where you just open it, you quickly make something, and you don't have the pressure of creating a full fledged artwork. Right now, we're just wanting to create something and understand the techniques. That's why we need a bigger sheet, but A5 also works. So, any drawing paper, um, the texture of the paper also doesn't matter. You can take a textured paper or a simple paper. Video is not available, but why? You can just pin, you would see the video with the name artist. It's only showing artist, but artist.chetna, you can pin that. Okay, we need paper, we need some colors, any brush pens, watercolors, whatever you have. We need some fine liners, a 0.5, and I think 0.5 is good enough. Any thick fine liner works. And I'll also be using a fine, not fine liner, this is a brush tip pen, but it's quite small. Okay, I'll use this to write quotes and make some dots and all of those things. And we also need some scrap pieces of paper like a brown paper, a white paper, a printer paper where you can create some elements and add to your artwork, colored papers, fevicol, scissors, so basic things, and also some colored papers if you have them. Okay. Now, to get started, just give me a thumbs up if you're ready, and then I'll quickly start with the activity, the session. Yeah, we also need some old books or magazines. I can see so many thumbs ups already. So we will begin with brown paper and some book pieces or out. You can tear out of newspapers, magazines, old books, whatever you have available with you. And this is such a fun, intuitive form of art where you don't have to follow any rules. Just go along with me and just try to create out of joy, not out of perfection. Okay. So I'm tearing out a small piece of brown paper like this. It can be grocery bags or any. This is what I've saved from a package that I received some time back. So I'm a big time hoarder now because I practice this art form. And I'll stick it to the center. You can either start on one of the corners of your paper or from the center. It doesn't matter. Just 1 second. Make sure you glue all of the edges properly. Very randomly, I'm just sticking it. Now, I'm tearing out a similar size of page of a book and I'm going to stick it here. While you're doing this, just think of two colors that you want to add to your artwork. Now, those colors can be anything. I'm going to use an orange and a pink. You can either follow the colors that I'm using or choose your own colors. It's totally up to you. So we'll be using orange and pink. And for that, I'll be using these poster colors. So what we are doing right now is we are creating the background, the base of the artwork. Okay, some texture has been added, and now we are moving towards the color. Just small amounts of color for now. I'll be using these two colors. Starting with the orange. Now, since I'm using watercolors, I'm going to vary the amount of water I add. At some places, it's going to be more concentrated than the other. So where you add more water, it's going to look like a pastel shade of the same color. And on some points, you can use more color and less water to create a darker patch. Now it's not necessary to stick to just two colors. You can use 3, 4, 5, whatever number of colors you want. However colorful you want to make this, it's totally up to you. This is enough. Now I'll move to pink. Pink or more like magenta. So not just full coverage, you can create patches of color like this as well. It looks really good. Another thing you can do is, so these are the patterns, like big squares, and I also love doing this one. I'll make circles. It's okay if they turn out to be ovals and not circles, that's fine. We're not trying to make anything perfect here. And we'll also leave a lot of white space. You can vary the size of circles.
Chetna, just a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we always need to use a white background, or can we also go with a black one as well, like a black
Yeah.
A4 size paper?
Yeah, black also works. Any colored paper, any brown paper, whatever you have. There's no need to have a white background.
Okay.
But if you want to use watercolors, you need to have a lighter color in the background, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't pronounce the name who raised the hand. Please unmute yourself and ask your question, and also share your name.
Hi, you can call me Ravali.
Okay, hi Ravali.
Yeah. Do you just go by feeling when you paint, or
Yes.
if you have an intention behind painting?
Right now, I honestly don't have any idea in mind, but you can definitely choose a theme if you want to have an idea before you start creating. But this is more of an intuitive form of art, so you generally don't need any uh, theme or any idea beforehand. Just what I personally do is I gather my art supplies and I just sit down with a blank sheet of paper, and then I start by sticking some random pieces of paper. What I also like to do is sometimes if I've been out and I have some bills, some receipts, some business cards, I would stick them, and then I would start adding more layers, colors, and patterns to the page.
Um, do you also get stuck in the cycle of that this piece should be perfect and
No, I try not to do it actually, because here I do not have any particular goal. Like in a mandala, you know that this should be the final result. But in art journaling, you do not have any such thing, because even you don't know where it's going to end up. Some journal spreads turn out better than the others, and that's totally fine.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Also, what I've observed, yeah, so what I have observed over time is what kind of spread you're going to create depends totally on the kind of supplies that you have around yourself. So, if you just have watercolors and papers, you're going to create something using those things. If you just have acrylic paints and pens, then you're going to create something out of those things. So it depends on the supplies that you're using, and what kind of mood you are in. That also makes this different. Sometimes we're in a bad mood, then we'll choose some colors depending on that mood, and the artwork would look slightly dull. You can compare, even like sit down on a day where you're having a bad day and create something. It's going to make you feel good, of course, and then sit down on one day where you had a very good day and create something and compare the artworks, and you will see the difference yourself. As you can see, I'm just randomly adding some patches of pink here and there, and I'm not trying to cover up a lot of space with color. Okay, I'm satisfied with the background for now. We'll obviously add more things later. Now, we'll keep this aside for a short while, and we're going to use printer paper or any white scrap paper that you have. Let's put this aside and leave it for drying. And on top of this, I'll show you some elements and symbols that I like to create, and then we'll create stickers out of them. Okay. And this is a printer paper that I'm using, and we're going to use a fine liner here. Just this one. A 0.5 works here. We'll start with the easiest symbol and one of my favorites, which is the Nazar symbol. And I'll use brush pens to color this quickly. So you make a circle, then a dot in the center, dark blue color on the outer side and a light blue color around the black dot. Now, whatever symbols you're making, make sure you leave some white space around them, because when we cut them out, we're going to cut them with a white edge, with a white border. Next one is going to be lotus, my second favorite thing. For this, if you want, you can use your pencil first and then trace with your pen. We start with the center petal and then we add petals on the sides. I'm adding light pink inside the lotus. Sap green to the stem here. And a brighter pink. The brighter pink is going to be in very small amounts, and then I'm using the light pink again to blend it a little. Now this is printer paper, so don't go overboard, it might tear up. Don't add too many layers of color. Another flower that I personally like and that goes with everything is this one, a very simple one. So we start with a circle, and now just for the ease of making petals, we're going to make a bigger circle around this. Okay, and we'll divide this into 5 sections. Okay, so we'll divide the flower into 5, divide the circle into 5 sections. Like this. They don't need to be perfectly similar in size. And then we make petals. Okay, now inside the petals we're going to add some details. So we make lines and dots, but the dots are connected with the lines. Like this. And if you want to go overboard with this, you can double line the petals in this way so that it looks like it's curling up. This looks almost like that cherry blossom flower. A simple version of this would be so I generally make the flower like this without any circle and grid, very quickly and randomly, and then just a few lines like this, and then I add color inside. This turns out to be even prettier if I make it with this brush pen that I talked about. Just make sure wherever you're making the flower or any other thing, you have space around it. So with the brush pen, you can change the pressure of the pen and create this line where at some point it's very fine and at some points it's thick. Okay. And this also, you can darken some portions of the petal like this. Okay. There's so many more flowers that you can create, so many more elements that you can create. Just one more that I want to share is similar to this. Eye symbol again. Now, one advantage with the flowers is that you can color them based on the color palette of your artwork. And sometimes our artwork is so colorful that we want to balance it out with some black and white elements. So you can keep the flowers black and white and just use them as they are. That also balances the artwork really well. Okay, let's cut these out quickly. I'll show you how to cut them in the right way so they look like stickers. First, we'll cut out the whole portion and separate all the elements very carefully, leaving a lot of white space around them, like this. So this cutting part takes me back to my childhood where we used to create craft projects, and I really enjoy it. First step is to separate everything. Just make sure you're leaving a lot of white space around it. Okay, now when we start cutting the actual sticker, we're going to go like this. Leaving a lot of white space, creating a border around the main shape. Can you see that? When you add color or just add it as it is, it's going to look like a sticker. So a lot of times we don't have very fancy supplies, but that is just not the point. The joy is in making your own things and using them in your artwork. For the lotus, we're going to go along the petals and the stem as well, like this. Now in this eye where we have these lines, we're going to cut it this way. I'm keeping these flowers aside for now. I'll cut them if I want to use them later. Oh yeah, one more thing that we will do with the printer paper is now you can use a black color or any other color for this part. I'm using the black brush pen and we'll create some patterns here. So I'm making marks like this in an alternating pattern. So if I have like 10 here, the next 10 would be in between the placements here. Okay, and then the third row would be the same as the first one. Like this. Okay, another pattern that you can create is using lines. So I'm just making it in a small portion on the sheet and then I can tear it out and paste it in my artwork. So sometimes on some days when you don't want to make a whole artwork, you can use any scrap white paper or use fresh printer papers and just create all of these patterns and symbols and elements, and then you can later on when you want to create the main artwork use these things. So on days when you don't want to do a lot of things, you can create these smaller elements. Now with the line pattern, you can vary the thickness of the lines as well. Another line pattern that I really enjoy is where now I'll make it slightly away from this one. Here you start at one point and then you create a very wobbly line and you just keep going without lifting your pen. If you want to make it more fun, you can do this with your eyes closed as well. Something like this. And then if you want to make it more detailed, you can color some portions, you can add lines to some portions, like this. Any big portions that you see, you can add lines inside it. This part in itself is very relaxing. Okay, now let's bring back the main artwork. And let's place the elements. You can place them anywhere you want, but don't overthink anything. I'm starting with the lotus. Let's also tear out these patterns we created. You can first tear out the whole piece, and then you can see how much portion of it you want to actually use in the artwork. Now, for example, from this, I just want a small portion, something like this, that I would like to place maybe over here. We're just creating a lot of layers and textures in the artwork without overthinking anything. Now, if you want, you can balance this by adding a small piece of it. So I really like the torn edge effect. That's why I'm just tearing out this part as well. And maybe I'll place it here. Yeah. small portion of the lines that we have. So when you place a black and white element on top of color, it looks really good. Okay, now this part looks slightly empty to me. So in that portion, I'm going to use these two flowers. I'll first cut them out. Yeah. I'm saying this again and again, but you just don't have to overthink anything. Place the element, see if it looks decent, just stick it there. Don't think too much. You'll slowly build it. You'll slowly understand where to exactly place the elements. And the advantage of making this form of art is if at any point you feel like some portion is not looking good to you, you can cover it up with another sheet of paper or another element. I'll let the flowers be black and white. Now over here, let's first also use this. Yeah, I'll use this one. So if you notice, I like to use elements at the intersection of things, and sometimes I like to use elements along with an existing thing on paper. Like here I have the brown paper, so I use the dotted piece of paper right next to it. Over here as well, I had these blocks of pink, so I used the dotted paper next to it, connecting things together basically. Now, one last thing that we'll do on top of this is add a coat not the last thing. So I'm cutting out a strip of printer paper again. Now this totally depends on the length of the strip you're cutting. It totally depends on what you actually want to write. But I just randomly cut it out and I'll think of a quote to write. If you can't think of anything, you can go to Pinterest or find some quotes on Google and use that in the artwork. I'm just trying to think of something. If nothing comes up, you can also use affirmations, like write affirmations. Okay, I know what I want to write. Now I'll cut strips of paper depending on the words, the length of the words. What you can do as an alternative is first write your quote and then tear out the words separately and paste them. I like this placement. The brown part was looking slightly empty. That's why I'm placing the quote on top of it. Once I'm satisfied with the placement, I'll paste it. All right. I'm actually writing an affirmation. Now, one more thing we'll do is we'll add some more elements directly on the paper. And for this, you can use any colored pen or black pen. You can randomly sprinkle some tiny circles here and there. And on this side and this side here on top of this orangish color, we're going to write some of our feelings or maybe some affirmations, anything that you want to write here. Okay, I'll just go ahead with some more affirmations like this one. So, in this part, you can either go with affirmations or some famous quotes or some quotes that you resonate with. And on the other portions, you can write your feelings, affirmations, or any other thing that a poem or anything that you want. I've just written down about the things that I'm grateful for. And over here, same thing, some affirmations or things that you're grateful for. Making some more elements. And over here, I'm writing the date. And that's our artwork for today. Please feel free to ask questions and also show your artworks. Veena, we can start with you. How did you enjoy this?
Yeah, that was all right. So I think for me it was really good to sort of use these supplies that I've been wanting to use from a long time. That's one, and also like I just had few old photos of myself, and I don't know if you're able to see my artwork.
It's
I will.
very zoomed in, so only a small part is visible.
Yeah, I think I'll just bring it here as well.
Oh,
Maybe.
wow.
Yeah, so it's a very small snippet that I've done in the A4 size, where
Mm-hmm.
I started off by adding the brown piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had this mandala which I had done like on my first day of work when I started after graduating. So
Okay.
I added that, and then I just added like a fearless
Can't
and a
see
bold,
the
like
mandala
like
right now, actually.
and of course, I added a small photo of myself. Just I want it was more like a thing like how far I've come, and I want to
Yeah.
carry this fearless and bold nature, or I at least want to work on it for the future, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
think,
Looks
like you told, it's
wonderful.
really like putting random things together, and there was no agenda, there was no overthinking. What I just felt like I could always do over it, but I really didn't need do it. It just
Mm-hmm.
went flow. Like I just went with the flow.
That's amazing. And it looks really good as well. Very simple.
Yeah. And it's very therapeutic in that way. Like you don't really have to overthink and just use whatever supplies that you have.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyone else who wants to share their artwork or their experience? Or maybe ask questions? Wow, this looks very good.
I still have to complete actually. Yeah.
But it looks wonderful so far. I can see you've created a mandala as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was nice. I really enjoyed your session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Let's look at Alisha's first and then we'll see Shweta's. Wonderful. You still have to add quotes, but other than that, it looks really good. You're on mute if you were saying something. I'm looking at Shweta's artwork. You are also on mute. I can't hear you, but the artwork looks really good.
Yeah, I didn't have watercolors. I just added with
Yeah,
the
I can see you.
fine.
I thought it's pencil colors, but it looks really good.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's the beauty, right? Like you do with whatever you have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Chetna. Thank you, Meena, so much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Bhavika, this looks really good. Wonderful. And I love the quote as well. Everyone's work is so pretty.
Please do share the images within the WhatsApp group. I'll open it up for a while
We
so
can
that
take a screenshot if everyone can hold the artwork, and we'll take a screenshot. Please hold the artwork and I'll take a screenshot.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining, and I really enjoyed creating this. I hope you had fun with this, and I really hope you continue with this. Use this art form in your everyday life to record the moments that you cherish, or maybe record the bad moments as well, to let go of the bad things as well. That's it from my side. Over to you, Veena.
Good. This was a really wonderful session, and I think a very perfect start to what we have been wanting to do, like as a community, just to celebrate and enjoy art over the next couple of days. And thank you, Chetna. The session was really, really good. And I think clearly everyone was just so engaged in the whole process, like no questions at all, just very minimal. And, like, okay, no overthinking, just do whatever comes on the plate. And I think just putting together, it was a very de stressing session. Like mandalas, we know are de stressing, but I think just using what you have, especially I think as Indians in general, we love to make use of the tiniest bit of thing that we have.
Yeah,
So,
right.
give that. So, but yeah, that way. And also, I think just to capture your moments. Like it could be someone's special day, or even like you just have things lying around, or you're just not feeling like doing anything. Just putting things together. That could probably, or also maybe you're not understanding how to express yourself. This could be a way to put yourself out there to people. So it's a really good way to sort of do that. And everyone looks like they really enjoyed, given how beautiful the artworks are.
Yeah.
So that way it was really good. So thank you again. Thank you so much for everyone else who joined.
Thank you, everyone.
Effort for yourself, which is really important. So and I'll see you all in the upcoming sessions.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the other sessions as well. And I would love to join them as well. I think that's it for today. And yeah, we'll see you in our next workshop. Bye bye. And post your artworks on the group. And yeah,
Yeah.
also share them on your stories and tag us. We'd love to repost. Okay, then. Bye bye. Good night.